Kegels suck. They really do. I don't know who first thought it was a good idea to tell men to do Kegels to try to fix their sexual issues, but I don't think they had a very good understanding of the male pelvic floor and the sexual anatomy of a man as a holistic viewpoint. A lot of men start doing Kegels to try to help their premature ejaculation or erectile dysfunction, but in the long run, it almost always makes the issue much worse. It actually overstrengthens the response of the sympathetic nerves, the buildup to ejaculation. So it increases basically your body's association of penile stimulation with a buildup to ejaculation. And the hypertension patterns men often develop from doing regular Kegels often causes an actual restriction of blood flow into and out of the penis. Therefore, erections become weak. I'm going to show you an exercise that is much more effective in the long term for promoting powerful ejaculation control, sexual vitality, and improving circulation in and out of the genitals as well. Hey guys, I'm Jonathan White. I'm here to help you master your sexual energy so you can manifest your ideal life. If you want to learn more about sexual mastery, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to stay notified when I release new videos and go live. Make sure you get my free ejaculation control course through the link in the video description below. So if you're trying to fix premature ejaculation and develop ejaculation control or fix erection issues from the pelvic floor using Kegel exercises, it's probably going to make the issue worse in the long run. And what actually tends to work a lot better, much more holistically for men, myself included, I did Kegels every day for 10 years and it fucked up my pelvic floor. You want to actually focus on mobilizing the surrounding muscle groups, strengthening the surrounding muscle groups through different exercises, and using proper pelvic floor releasing techniques. I talk more about this in my Kegels are bullshit video, so check that out. But in this video, I'm going to share a very specific exercise which will really help you to, first of all, overcome this involuntary contraction of the pelvic floor, also known as involuntary Kegels, that happens from sexual stimulation, whether by yourself or with a partner, to where basically when your penis is being stimulated, you contract the pelvic floor in response. That is always linked to premature ejaculation. So this exercise will help you to overcome that. This exercise will help you to strengthen the parasympathetic nervous system connection to sexual arousal so that basically during sex, sexual stimulation, you can stay in the parasympathetic calm and grounded state. You will massively improve your sexual endurance, your sexual libido, your pleasure from sex, your orgasmic capacity, and potentially even have much more powerful erections as well. Sound good? Keep watching. So come into a wide stance, feet are slightly angled outwards, kind of a horse stance type setup here. We're going to breathe in a specific way and we're going to actually activate the glute muscles in a certain way. We're going to do some pot belly breathing here. This is a specific breathing pattern that really actually helps stimulate the vagus nerve, calm your parasympathetic nervous down, and helps to block the ejaculation response basically from genitals to brain. So it keeps you in the parasympathetic nervous system, the breathing practice alone. And then we're going to add more on top of that. So what you're going to do is put your hands on your belly, breathe in fully, and really think of sticking out your breath as you breathe in, like I'm really sticking out my breath and then kind of pushing down at the end. So you breathe in, hold the breath for a little bit, just a few seconds, however long is comfortable, and then exhale. And as you exhale, try to keep that. It's a diaphragm engagement, almost like you're kind of pushing your belly down. You're engaging some core muscles here, so kind of pushing down, and try to hold that as best you can as you exhale. And you're pulling in your abs as you exhale, and then inhale, fill up, push down. It's like you're really just filling up the lower belly. Exhale. That's the breathing. Now we're going to add in kind of a rhythmic glute contraction. So here's what I recommend doing. It may seem weird, but I'm gonna stick my finger in my butt crack, stick my hand in my butt crack, basically more or less, and think of squeezing the glutes together. All right, I'm sorry in advance to do this to you, but I'm sticking my hand in here and I'm just kind of squeezing the glutes together. Now, it's not a 100% like, just think of it this gentle, like almost like you're trying to clap with your butt cheeks, just kind of this, feeling like they're pushing towards each other. You don't want to feel like you're contracting your muscles at 100% capacity. It's more like, I don't know, maybe 50%. You'll have to experiment with this, but there's this kind of feeling that it's kind of squeezing here together, almost like squeezing into the tailbone area here. So you just feel that, feel what that feels like. And that's basically the exercise, but there's a few more subtleties here to it. So one of the most important things is that we want to be able to do this without contracting the pelvic floor. And this will be a challenge for a lot of men. You may notice that as soon as you do this glute engagement, you squeeze your pelvic floor. The proper breathing that we're doing here helps to prevent this. So as you breathe in and hold the breath for a little bit and kind of push down. You can almost feel like you're pushing down into your pelvic floor a little bit as you hold that breath and as you breathe in. And that helps to keep the pelvic floor relaxed, keep it from tensing up when you do the glute engagement. And then you exhale and still feel like you're kind of pushing down a little bit as you exhale and kind of pulling in at the abs. Inhale. So I'm squeezing rhythmically with this. You can find your own rhythm, but think of relaxing the pelvic floor as you do this. Inhaling. Hold the breath. Push the belly down for a few seconds. Exhale. Another way you can do the exhale is what I call the straw exhale. So it's like the straw breath. So you imagine you're blowing through a straw. So you kind of pressurize the exhale to delay it. As you're doing that exhale, so you breathe in. Exhale. And that helps to kind of bulge the pelvic floor out and keep it from tightening up when you're doing those glute contractions. And again, experiment with different intensities of squeezing the glutes. Experiment with, doing it really hard, doing it a bit more subtle. Eventually it can become very subtle. And here's an interesting thing. Pelvic floor imbalances are very commonly linked to glutes that are not functioning properly. A lot of people have one glute, one butt cheek that's a bit weaker than the other. So getting the glutes communicating helps to pull tension away from the pelvic floor. So that's basically the practice. I recommend that you spend some time every day doing this, doing it like this, as I've shown with you. And now I'll get into how this applies to sex. So first of all, you want to practice enough to where you're really able to isolate the glute contraction without the pelvic floor tensing up. And again, I recommend doing this as a formal practice for 5 to 10 minutes a day if you're really struggling with premature ejaculation. And then when this feels comfortable, when it feels natural, when it doesn't feel like a really, really awkward exercise to do, because it takes a bit of core strength to breathe like this. It takes a bit of coordination to be able to engage the glutes in a proper way like this. Now, I want you to practice self-stimulation, masturbation. Doing this exercise. Standing also really helps men control ejaculation. It has this grounding effect, and it also kind of loads tension onto the legs, which otherwise builds up in the pelvic floor. So it's really helpful for ejaculation control. Standing positions where your partner's maybe at the edge of the bed, you're standing up, just going to town, baby. That's very helpful. So you can, be doing this exercise while masturbating, while breathing this way, and notice how this helps your sexual endurance. Practice that. And I also recommend practicing it in different positions. Try this in a laying on your back, kind of a reclined butterfly position with your feet together and your knees out to the side. Try the glute contractions there. It can become a bit more subtle. And then it implements into sex. You may be thinking, what am I gonna be squeezing my butt cheeks just sitting there during sex? It may seem weird. It's gonna change a little bit because you're going to use the glutes to actually drive your movement. So sexual thrusting, you're moving forward, moving back, baby. Think of that coming from this glute engagement. So your glutes with the breathing too. You're breathing this way, the glutes are firing, they engage, you come forward, relax to come back. So now you're driving your movements from the glutes, and you may be amazed at how much sexual endurance you have when you really get good at this technique. It's going to be tricky in certain positions, but with some practice, practice it in all positions, see how you can get this glute engagement into driving your sexual thrust, keeping the breath going as much as you can in this way, keeping the pelvic floor relaxed, and it will do wonders for your sexual vitality, libido, and ejaculation control. And you'll likely find that your erections become much stronger and longer lasting as well. So practice, practice, practice. It's gonna feel a bit awkward at first, but if you stick with it, it's gonna be a game changer for your sex life. Thank you for watching this video. If you wanna learn more about developing ejaculation control, overcoming premature ejaculation, having non-ejaculatory orgasms, check out my digital training programs. I'll put more information through the link in the description of this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and let me know in the comments below how it goes for you when you're using this technique. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day, my friends.